driving to the beautiful east, we stopped in a town to get some gas. And actually, we didn't have gas for a long time, so just plan ahead when you want to get your gas. Reindeer were everywhere in this area. I mean, everywhere. There's this town that has a beautiful, amazing playground and a grocery store and places to stop. But as I said, we stopped there for gas, and then we decided to go to actually a waterfall. We had time for one waterfall, so we decided that instead of the playground. Hey, so we left Stockness and we started driving in the east. Beautiful, just beautiful. There's so many places to stop. There's all these rest areas with picnic tables. Just really, really beautiful. You could actually even just sit right next to the ocean, and you see how the ocean is just so strong and powerful. And I could see a well just popping up out there. It's just so beautiful, and it's all nature. Anything can happen. A seal can even show up. We saw so many seagulls. We saw geese, and we actually saw so many reindeers. Everywhere there were reindeers, all over the place. And we couldn't stop where we kept seeing them, but we just kept seeing them all over, like a whole bunch of them with beautiful views. And it's just it's really beautiful, and so thankful to be here. Yeah. Finally, when we got to the waterfall, we decided to have some lunch. So we had some sandwiches, and it was just really like a 5-minute walk to the waterfall. It was a safe pathway, and it was just a beautiful surrounding, a great way to start our east trip in this area. There's actually plenty of hikes in this area that we didn't actually know about until we got there, because no one was actually in the parking lot, but we definitely saw people hiking from different areas to get to this waterfall, and it was also really good pathways from what we saw. Just to kind of give you an idea, there's so much to do out here, there's so much to see, and there's so many ways that you can actually do it. We enjoyed stretching our legs, being in beautiful nature, and now it's time to start driving to Egilsstadir, where our campsite is, and our town that we're going to be going to bonus and getting our groceries. Don't forget to check out my first part of South Iceland. I pretty much said there that every 3 days we went to a grocery store, and every 2 days we had to go to a gas station. So any little tips like that, don't miss that video. And also anything about campsites, I did do a special video for all the campsites that we stayed at. For going to the grocery store, my husband and I decided that we split up. My husband went to the grocery store with our oldest son, and I stayed behind to actually cook dinner. It really takes a long time traveling, and it's already time to prepare and to cook. So I did a kind of little video of how it looks while we cook. The baby, our baby, is in the front seat sitting, because at this time the floor is actually really wet. From all the rain and snow, it just comes in when you open up the door. All the rain and the snow comes in, and also the shoes and taking off the coats. Like, it's very hard to keep the floor dry. But right now he's actually resting as well, so it worked out fine. But just keep that in mind while you're camping in a camper van. Find some kind of solution for this time, especially if you're planning to come in the winter. It's very wet. Now my daughter was enjoying being with me. She just was playing. She just enjoyed the relaxing time in the warm cabin. I made just one pot of pasta and meat bolognese. Very simple, very easy, and it was just a perfect meal for a cold day. Let's talk about the heating in the camper van. Now, if you saw part 1 of our trip in Iceland, you could already see that we're talking a lot about during the night, that our night gets really, really cold in the camper van. Our heater stops working after 5 hours, and it gets really, really, really cold. So we kept talking to happy campers, asking them what can we do to make things a lot warmer, because we do have younger kids. So finally they said they were going to send a mechanic, because also our light came on in our van. They were having all these issues and everything, and they finally were dealing with it. We also really noticed that we were the only ones that were having trouble with our heater. Like you hear the heater working in other camper vans, and you can hear that they're working throughout the whole night and in the morning, like no problem. Why was ours turning off? And we realized that other camper vans have a double battery, and we didn't have so much batteries as others have. It's only the happy campers, so just keep that in mind. But they did actually fix our van, so then the heater was working. We were having quite a lot of issues, and I think it's because we have an older version and it's just outdated. We did tell them everything, and they were just like, no, just keep driving, it'll be fine. But like, our camper van could not go up hills. We had quite a lot of issues with it, and it was actually a little bit nervous in certain areas about how the camper van, it's a 4x4, it should do a lot better than what it was doing. This, by the way, is in the campsite. There are reindeer paths. I mean, that's the name of the path. But there are actually different paths that you can walk. It's really great and easy paths. It's just really, really nice. Highly recommend. It was definitely a relaxing morning. And then we went out to our next excursion of the day. And of course, we had such a blizzard hit us. But again, we are driving on roads that you can drive on. We keep the record. We kept checking the roads if we could drive there or not. So this is how it is, as it's fine to drive. So we were going to another town. Don't give up when you see a weather like this, because once we got to the actual town, it was clear, it was nice. I told you this also in my last video. The weather like extremely changes drastically, or just in different areas, so don't give up on the drive. On the way to this town, we stopped at a waterfall. So hopefully our heater is fixed. It took probably like 40 minutes in the morning, and now we're on our way to a little town in the fjords, and the drive is beautiful. It was very foggy, very snowy, but now we're at the waterfall, and when we got here there was no one, and we were just getting out and getting ready, and then a whole bunch of people came. But it's still beautiful. enjoyed so much exploring this town. We found an old ship as well. The kids loved going and looking at it. We took some photos, beautiful photos. It's just a really beautiful town. And while we were driving back up, we stopped again at the same waterfall because this time there was no one there, and it's just like people stop and go. So there's plenty of time if you wanted to wait while there are people there, because you can have those options that there'll be no one in your photos in these waterfalls that are just not maybe as touristy, but it's still so beautiful, and it's worth definitely a trip and a stop to go there. I want you to see again, this is the route we took when there was a really bad blizzard, and now it's completely blue skies. Okay? This is Iceland's weather, and it's amazing. So we just got to another waterfall in the east, and when we got here there was no one here, and it's beautiful. The east is really magnificent. I guess everywhere in Iceland is beautiful. It really is. You couldn't go wrong where you go. It's just beautiful in different ways. And so we got here, there was no one here, and then suddenly all these people came, but then they leave. So you don't need to worry so much, especially around these areas. If there's a lot of people when you get there, you just need to wait a little bit. Patience can go a long way, and you get to see it just on your own. So yeah, don't let it scare you, the amount of people. This hike is 40 minutes long round trip, but because of the snow, it does take you longer. And my daughter and I, we kind of took a little bit of time in the camper van. She was resting. She wasn't quite ready to go outside quite yet and hike, but our oldest son was definitely ready. So my husband and our son already started the hike a while ago, and then we are just trying to catch up with them in our own pace. And we actually met halfway of them coming back, and it was really nice. We could see the waterfall, my daughter and I, from far away. My husband and my son, they definitely got to see it a lot closer, but it just worked out so nicely, and we're really happy with this hike. that the day started with a blizzard and it was really cold, but the day keep on going, it actually started to get warmer and wasn't as cold, and you do feel also just it is starting to get warmer. We're starting getting into the middle of March, getting closer to April, and you start feeling the difference in the temperatures. So we are starting to get ready for bedtime. So we're actually fixing the kids' beds first, and the kids help out. The kids help out when we put things together and everything. It really helps. We put the bed together, and the kids are already in their PJs and ready for bed. So I kind of want to give you an understanding. Sometimes when we have to go in to the storage under the beds, we have to open up the back doors. It feels like we always have to open up doors to get to places. So that brings in cold. Just to kind of like you have understanding of what is a camper van. You're pretty much still part of nature. It's maybe not camping in a tent, but you're still very connected to nature. So we always put our two older ones into bed, and then we start fixing our own bed. And the baby does sleep with us in the cold nights. Even though we have a little tent for him, when it got really cold, he actually joined us in sleeping with us in the end and not sleeping in his tent. But it kind of helped, like helping him and staying in one little area. And once the heater was working, he did actually sleep in his tent, and my husband and I definitely had some more time to watch a movie and cuddle and just enjoy the time together. When we got our camper van, we actually took extra fleece to put on the sides of the walls and the doors, and that really helped because the cold was sweeping in certain places. It did feel a lot colder, so it definitely blocked the cold from actually being near us. What I would actually even think about next time is actually bring 2 more pillows, just because when we watch a movie we kind of like to lean and we like to feel comfort and cuddled and all that good stuff, and those 2 pillows just it wasn't enough. So we kind of felt that maybe next time we would have a lot more pillows with us. We did also bring extra lights. Actually, this is such a unique camping light because it does actually also have twinkling lights, and also can just be a light that can be put in the middle. They're just a big strong light. But we love the twinkly lights and made the camper van so cozy and so nice. It was definitely, we're really happy we brought it, and it's kind of something that we take everywhere we really enjoy. said in the beginning of the video, look for those gas stations, and usually like this gas station, there was no one there to greet you. Alright, but it still works. You definitely need a credit card or some way to pay. They won't take cash. Have you ever had ice cream? Not ice cream, sheep ice cream. Neither have I. They sell it here, but it's closed. So that's sad. But if you're in the summer, try it and let me know how it is. We got to our last waterfall, our last hike in the east, and it is our longest hike that we've had. It took us over 3 hours, but usually it would probably just take you 3. And also it makes a big difference what side you take to get there, because there's actually 2 routes. You could do a round trip, or you could pick the same route to go up and down. So we decided, I don't know why, to take the hard route in the beginning. And let me tell you, it was hard. It was very muddy, very icy, but that was the reason why it was so hard. It was just very, very steep and very, very high. And the pathway might have not been the best. And you'll see later how, you can actually see a little bit now, the pathway on the other side is a little bit longer, and it's a little bit more spaced in between, and it's not as steep walking up or down. It is actually quite a significant difference between the two. On this side walking up, every once in a while you actually do have a bench to kind of take a break and relax and rest. I guess it is known, this is the harder route, known that you'll probably need to take a little bit of a breather and a place to sit for a little bit. Also, it's beautiful nature and just enjoying the nature that you're surrounded with. But I definitely think it's probably because of how steep it is and letting people having places to rest. Longest hike right now on this trip. It's probably an hour and a half to Deep Waterfall, and then an hour and a half back. There's two ways to go up and down. So we went on the hard part of the hike, and then we're going to go down on the easier side. We've already done maybe an hour and a half of a walk, and we're just about to hit the large waterfall, and then we'll start walking back. So this did take us a little bit longer, I think, than 3 hours, or it will take us. But we kind of wrote down that it'll be a 3-hour hike. With Toddlers, it just takes a little bit slower, just taking in the views and talking and looking out. That's really what the hike is for, is just to be together and enjoy the time together. So, yeah. You could actually get even closer to the waterfall, but the ways down was very icy. Many people kind of skipped it. We weren't the only ones, but there were people that did go for the challenge and did go all the way up to it. It's really up to you. You can see here there's a lot more space on this path. It's just a lot easier walking down or walking up. This is just it's definitely a lot easier of a hike, and it was also beautiful. You do have a little bit of a different view from both sides. This is more of a lower side, and on the other side is higher. Both are beautiful, both I recommend. It was hard, the harder side, so it's just up to you. It is a beautiful hike. Once we got back, I definitely straight off started with lunch. We were hungry, and of course, every lunch we've just been making sandwiches, but this time we also even did a little extra of a hot chocolate. I think we all deserved after that long hike. Definitely, it was a great little add-on. And it was perfect. We had our lunch, and it was a perfect hike to end our east. East was it's so beautiful, and my husband's like, if we ever come back, I definitely want to spend more time in the east, and I do agree, because there were a lot that we had to skip and not do, so we'll definitely be coming back.